Hi Melissa, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. How are you, Aaron?
Good, thanks.
That's good. Yeah, I just asked you to come in today so we can discuss the maintenance of your property, the one that we're renting out for you.
Yep.
We've done the inspection just recently, so we picked up a few maintenance items on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering if you had any questions in regards to, us proceeding with implementing some of these items or getting them rectified.
Yep, there are a couple of questions that we had.
Mm-hmm.
So what sort of criteria do you select in terms of choosing the tradespeople?
Right. When we select tradespeople at CityServe Real Estate, I mean, first of all, we do have a register available, but I'll go into that a bit later. Normally what we look for is that the tradespeople are the right trades, they have the right qualifications, they have the right licenses, because we've got to be legal in all the maintenance work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, we prefer people that have a good knowledge of the occupational health and safety issues that might occur, and so some of the legislation, so they understand, how to conduct the work on maybe, high risk heights and things like that. So they also should understand the security of a property, so they don't leave doors unlocked and windows wide open when they knock off for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that are quite of importance, and obviously ultimately the price, that they're not overquoting, so we always benchmark that to the current price levels. And additionally, they also should carry some insurance, so just in case something happens, that they're covered by the insurer. So we make sure that we get a certificate on file, and that's how they enter into the register as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll just explain quickly how we got that register. We normally have that electronically on file, so all the property managers within CityServe Real Estate can access them. They in a way are vetted because they've done work for us before, and we sort of assess their work due to quality. We normally use register them by trade, like electricians, plumbers and so forth. The name of the trade person goes in the register, the contact details like the phone numbers and that, email addresses so they can send us quotes and invoices, or we can send payments to them with the bank details. Then obviously we've got the qualifications and licenses on file, and the insurance certificates if they have that. So that's the list that is within our electronic system and accessible to all the property managers. So we'll have that on file. So yeah, anything else that you'd like to clarify?
Yes, you did mention something about a maintenance program a little while back.
Oh yes, that's right. We've done the inspection.
Yeah.
And we picked up a few items, and you noticed yourself that there were a couple of items that needed to be rectified.
Yep.
So what we've done is I've actually prepared here a property maintenance program for this particular property. And I just want to go through with you just so you understand what's involved. So the general information is obviously the property address, like how it's built, your details and so forth. And the term of the maintenance plan, we make it for the term of the lease, which is sort of 12 months from now.
Yeah.
The other thing is the inspection report has brought out the main issues being the timber deck around the spa.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that there was some water damage. It's only a minor sort of issue, but probably needs to be fixed before it becomes worse, and before the timber rots.
Yep.
And something worse can happen.
So what's the cost going to be with all this in the maintenance program?
Yeah, let me just go through the actual program, because there's a couple of pages to go through, and then we'll at the end of it we'll go through get to the costs of that.
Okay.
So it won't take long. The other thing that we've found is that the dint in the plaster needs patching up in the bedroom too. Okay. So the inspection schedule, which according to your instructions you wanted the gutter clean, you told me that, so that's a one-off. Probably to be repeated once a year, I would think, so that can come on next year's maintenance program again. The garden maintenance service to be established, so I'm still wanting to do a quote, but I think from last call the receptionist got the quote in, so I think we can go through that later. The spa needs servicing, so you want that quarterly done as well, so I've got to get a quote for that. Now the frequency of the maintenance is the garden maintenance every fortnight and the spa every quarter, so every 3 months the spa. And we pick all these things up on the routine inspections that are happening every 6 months, as you know by law, that we inspect the property every 6 months. Now a couple of the legislative requirements are obviously the Occupational Health and Safety Act, regulations for tradespeople, the safe work method statements if they're working on high risk. Sometimes we've got multi-storey buildings. On yours is probably not that relevant. The Residential Tenancy Act 1997 we apply, the Real Estate Act regards to real estate conduct, and the condition report every 6 months. So the key register as well, we've got a system that's used whereby the keys are numbered and registered in a book.
Yep.
Then the keys are kept in a lockable key cabinet and ensure that the keys cannot be identified on their own. So if one of the PMs leave them in the car, so if the car gets broken into, people don't know where the key belongs to.
Yep.
So that's just a safety thing. And the way we maintain the key register is that if staff is taking the keys that are required, that we've got our tags that like my tag is red, so I hang my tag on that thing so people know red is for Sabine's and Sabine's got the key to that particular property.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we do that, and that's really to avoid risks. So there's a couple of risks there involved as well, but generally speaking that works quite well. So for safety and security, we've identified that there's no safety fence around the spa for you. That's probably something that, if children climbing up, if we're renting to a family for instance, and children climbing up in there and falling into the water, that's potentially quite a big risk. It could be be a legal issue as well. So we've got to do something about that. And the security door in the family room, that does not lock with that key. So I strongly suggest that we get that changed because we don't want intruders to come through the family door.
Yeah.
So we need to do that. Now, the other regular sort of things that we can check regarding to the building codes and standards are the electrical and gas appliances. So that really should be checked once a year. That's sort of a good sort of working thing. Smoke alarms need to be in working order because that's a legislative requirement that buildings or dwellings have got smoke alarms.
Mm-hmm.
All the steps and railings need to be safe so people can't trip. Generally all trip dangers around the property need to be addressed. And then that windows and doors can be locked properly so people feel safe. So going to the fees and charges, the monthly fees of all of that, we don't really charge any extra. We just, as a standard fee, we charge the 7.7% of the monthly rental, being $600 a week for your property.
Mm-hmm.
The agency will charge $200.75 per month, which then includes looking after all this maintenance program for you as well. So that's a general fee. That's all property management tasks involved, like rent collection, everything else as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no extra charge for the maintenance management. Now, the list of the costs, which are regular, should be the garden maintenance, and the quote came in at $80 per fortnight. So that means, getting the grass cut, everything, and the shrubs and everything trimmed. And the spa cleaner is $120 per quarter, so that'll be 4 times a year. So that works out average $200 a month. So the other people that we need to engage is the handyman that's capable of plastering and painting for that little dent in the wall there,
Mm-hmm.
and the timber decking repair. So I estimated him at $70 an hour for 4 hours roughly plus materials. That's just the one-off. The locksmith for changing the lock, and that's a specialist trade, so we can't really use anyone other than a locksmith. The gutter clean for about $120, and with the pool fencing I'll investigate what we need to do, and I can get some quotes for you if you like. Okay, so that's practically it. I've just written it here on the roster. So the timber decking, we can get a handyman. The new lock in the security door, we need a locksmith, which is the specialist trade.
Yeah.
The bedroom, the dent water, we can do the handyman. The gutter clean, we need, they've got specialist companies that do gutter clean. And the garden maintenance, we've got a gardener, and the sparkling, we've got a special pool company to do all that. Okay, so does that clarify what we've got on the program there?
Yep.
Okay, good. Anything else that you'd like to know?
So what's the timeline in terms of receiving the current maintenance register?
The timelines really is that we're going to get the first, the one-off items ticked off.
Yep.
And it's all going to be recorded against the property file.
Yep.
All the quotes go in there, all the invoices from the tradespeople go in there. And the timeline is that as soon as a job is finished, you will get a report saying this particular item has been managed and it's finalised. So then you'll get your monthly statements, and the maintenance items will be deducted from that, like from the rent if you wish. So there'll be reports, there'll be emails, and they will come as work is being completed. And then obviously you'll get your 6 monthly inspection reports as per usual.
Okay.
Okay, so
I think that was all from us.
was that all? Okay, well I've just wanted to discuss the fees and charges that will apply annually for all of that. We said it's $200 a month, so if we calculate that per annum, it's about $2,400. But that's really making sure that the house is staying in a good nick. There might be one-off items later on, like painting or something like that, which again, you know, will keep the property in good nick, but it's not an ongoing sort of thing. Now, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to with you as well. So if you're happy with that plan that I've just presented, we can implement that, and I will definitely get that pool fence or the spa fence organised as well, and get you some more information on that.
Okay.
Okay, you happy with that?
Yeah,
Great.
fine.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
And we'll talk soon. See ya.